in what we can say is a not surprising, but a very gratifying, a very surreal in some ways, but also a very much needed stretch of time here in cryptocurrency where we had a comfortable feel as a community. We decided over the weekend that something was changing here in a big way. We started swing trading, and on Monday, we made a dedicated effort. And we have XRP, so this doesn't include XRP I've had since 34 cents, and like XRP Healthcare. But we decided that some of these assets, like IOTA and Algo, which Algo's back over 20 cents now, which is phenomenal. IOTA just made a perfect back test of the golden cross in the 4-hourly. So I'll continue this discussion in just a sec after I say hi to everybody and we get situated to see how many people will be here. Mr. Tully, welcome in. Mark Casson, good evening, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 1 year with the I Told You So badge. Richard, welcome in. Skills Robos, good evening. Raleigh, I'm so glad to see you in here while we're having these moves. Adam Reynolds and AUB, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 6 months with the XP Predictor. Poop Soup, welcome in. Mosey here, welcome in, thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 1 year with the I Told You So badge. Anthony Trimus, welcome in. Pumping up indeed. Nick Morales, good afternoon. Won't be here for long on my lunch break. Well, I'm glad at least I came on your lunch break and you're able to see us, if not just for a couple of minutes. But hopefully you're having a blessed day at work today. Anthony Venegas, welcome in. From California, greetings, friend. Andrew Trimus gave me the number 9, the 9th like. I appreciate that. Joseph Gudru, welcome in. Mark Powell, welcome from Virginia. The Cannabis Podcast, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for 3+ months with the XRP Media, along with the fine group. John Patak, welcome in, thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 2 years with the I Told You So, or the XRP 589 Moon Badge. Mark Korf and John Hall, welcome in. Thank you both so much for continuing to support my content. I am so appreciative. Ben B, Jorge, and Papa Wheelie, welcome in, and thank you for being in Tom's Army for over 6 months with the XP Predictor. And Jorge, thanks for being a very trusted mod. Says, hello, people. Hello, Tom. Everyone hit that like button and subscribe to Tom's channel for the best technical analysis on YouTube. I appreciate that message. Continuously flowing message in the lives. I appreciate that. Nickel Tricken, welcome. Andrew Glenn, good evening. All right, Josh, what's going on, friend? Adam, good evening. Andrew Glenn from the UK, excellent. Torin, welcome. So as we can see, Bitcoin has hit an all-time high. We were able to spot pin everything that we see in front of us. We bought H-bar before the move up a couple of days ago. We bought XDC. Now, some of you, it's in your long-term, whatever the case may be. I don't have XDC currently, not because I don't want it, but because I've got my funds tied up in a different way right now. I have a lot of faith in IOTA and Algo where they're at, and a few others, as you know. And then we also have some dedication to the group trading. So there's, I have like, with the current run up, there's about $14,000 allocated for the group, that with what we own and the people that copied and did whatever. Pop Wheelie, thank you so much for the $5 donation and also being in Tom's Army for 6+ months with the XP Predictor. Said paying it forward from the XLM. Thank you so much for that, friend. I appreciate that. I really do. That pay it forward mentality means it all. All right, Jess, welcome in. Let's see. Catholic Faith Channel, welcome in. And don't forget to give thanks to our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ on this beautiful Thursday afternoon/evening, giving us the grace. Our Lord's given us the ability, whether through me or through all of us, to not only be together, whether I'm the vessel for this or not. The Lord's used me for whatever reason to allow us to have a little bit of grace and allow us to make a little bit of capital during these trying times. And I don't charge anything for this. I've been doing this every day since March 24th of 2021 without a day off. I don't ask for anything. There are members of Tom's Army, I think almost getting closer to like 175 now. It's $9.99 if you want to pay it forward. It's not required, but some people feel it within them to give back for what I do, and that's all I ask. If you're getting something above and beyond and you can afford the $9.99, it really does help me with what I do. And then I also, like, I made the website and things like that, so I do put back into the community. But right now, we do have to remember to stay graceful, you know, be humble, show integrity, and not to forgive to give thanks to the higher power. Because we can either create abundance for one or abundance for all. And it's my mission to create abundance for all of us. I've been very transparent with what I'm doing. And if you're part of the group, I think I have this pulled up today. Yeah, my portfolio is up on here. This doesn't include XRP or XRP Healthcare. I keep them in the XRP wallet, the XRP Healthcare wallet. But for anybody who is part of it, which I don't talk about it, but the positions are still open. We have, as a group right now, we have ADA, which is up 7.7%. We have IOTA up 5.9%. We have Alchemy Pay up 8.25%, and we have XLM up 21.7%. So that's what we have as a group, which I think right now we're doing pretty good. The group is, you know, doing pretty good. I'm not going to keep this up. But it's been nice to at least see, you know, what's actually been going on. Yeah. It's, I don't know, it's cool to see. The followers are up $4,463. Yeah. So, but then I have, before I shut this off, because I'm not showing this again, so you're either here or you're not. I also have my spot positions outside of that. I have 6,000 or 30,000 plus algo, 30,000 plus HBAR, and 252,000 plus data. And then I have my futures trades, which I'm not going to talk about, but at least so you can see I'm not bullshitting you when I talk about it. I still have, where the hell are my trades at? I have my Theta trades up 105% right now, but I'm trying to ride that out. And then Axion I just opened not too long ago while it was down, and it averaged out to that price. So that's what I have going on right now. So it's been a pretty big couple of days, as you can imagine. But I felt like this move was going to happen, so I let the community know well before. Over the weekend, we started swing trading, and on Monday I said it's not worth the swing trading anymore. We just have to ride these positions out, and I'm in it to fail until these inverse head and shoulders play down. So, no, I'm not. It's my XRP Healthcare wallet, and it's not on my tablet. It's only, I've shown it before, but it's on my phone. But it's the XRP Healthcare wallet. I've shown it before, but I'm not showing it right now. The only reason you even got to see that is because it's logged in on my tablet. I don't even have it downloaded on my tablet, because I don't want that information to really, you know, there's hackers and stuff, so it makes it hard. I don't like to show things very often. I only showed those so people, you know, could actually see what was going on. Let's see. Jorge, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 6 months with the XRP Predictor. UK Phil, welcome to Tom, or welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 1 year with the I Told You So badge. What are we buying next time? Nothing. I'm done. I got $14,000 in the copy trading. I'm done. I got my capital that I want out. It's allocated. It's over. If you weren't in the move by now, you're really taking a shot, because some of the things already, I'm done. So, you know, I don't know. I got nothing else to implore for any of it. Yes, I bought Axion. I showed it. I just showed it. But I did it. That's my other leverage trade, and I'm not advising you to do it. But for capital reasons, I did it in that spot. But I'm not holding anybody's hand on that, or, you know, that's just my own personal trade. Right now, we're over $113,641. And this is what we need to do. We have a technical short-term move right now. That is technically 118,214. So we're just trying to hold the 113,555 now that or 551 now that we know where we ran up. And I do think that right now, because I think this first target we knew we were going to hit. We talked about this on Monday when it was at 107,500 Bitcoin, and that's when I'm like, we need to be buying because like H bar was down at 14, 15. Algo was down at like 17. IOTA was down around 15, 16. It still hasn't moved much, but it back tested. XRP was down at 229. You know, and that was the time for some that weren't in. XLM was at like 25, 24. Now it's over 30. So that was a good time. Like, there's a couple, like I've talked about, that haven't even made any kind of a move yet. Like, Data, I still think is going to make a move like XCN and or MXC did with those big several 100% moves. That's why I have so much stock. I have $4,000 invested on Data because I think it's going to make a significant move when it finally does. Like, significant. You know, I'm not talking about a 10%. I'm talking significant. And I have that same gut feeling with XCN just because of the way they pump it up. The moment it does it, it's got a massive inverse head and shoulders set up. As long as it plays out, this is going to be massive. And it's getting ready. It's just like I said with Data. It feels like they're pending. We bought ADA with the community, which I wasn't going to. But at 60 cents, I said when we were live, I'm like, you know what? Why the hell not? Why not? And I threw like, I don't even know how much, $2,500, I think. And that's gone up pretty nicely. And then Alchemy Pay, I'm a big fan of, and I think there's going to be a significant move there as well. So I bought that with the group. The only reason H-Bar and Algo aren't with the group is because I had already bought it on the side and it went up so much. I was just graceful enough, because IOTA's only in the future side of it, that I sold it, even though I was up a couple $100. And then I rebought it back with the group during the... It was either the live or on Telegram the other day. I can't remember which one. I think it might have been part of the live. And but now we're up a couple hundred, maybe $200-$300 in that already since yesterday. But you know, I want as much to be a part of the group. So I was only going to do 2,500 of my portfolio with the group trading, but I ended up it's at 14,000 with what it's gone up right now. So I'm doing a lot. No, I hold no DGB. I had an issue with the DGB wallet, so until it gets put on BITUNIX, I'm not going to buy it, and it's going to be painful. But I have hope that other things that I know of, like Data, will do a good job, and some others that can take its place. But it definitely is kind of a sore spot. But no, I don't own it for that reason, and I won't until it's on BITUNIX. Nick, take care back at work. Oh, absolutely, Nick. We've got like a big pivot point at 265. That's the biggest level. And then we've got, I think, 280 something. But after that, I mean, there's not much in between us and $3 right now. Our next step is to get above 252 and hold. That's our next step. Like, it's fantastic to see XLM over 30 cents. It's fantastic to see XDC up almost 9%. And now up to 7.3 cents. It is. It's spectacular. H-bar's up 5.4%. DGB's back over 0.08, which is good to see. Like, I have no vendetta against DGB. I love it still. It's just I don't like what happened with their actual official wallet that it was telling me to use right on their website. And then the fact they didn't have any real support for it was kind of a kick in the Johnson, if you know what I mean. But I mean, all's the ball that ends well. I have that money back. It's just... you know, it's a soft spot of contention now. IOTA, what I was saying too before I do the intro, it had a big back test here. That is so fucking perfect on that golden cross. Oh my God, whoever sold that, thank you. Whatever entity had a bunch of money and sold that, we thank you. That's our liquidity grab we needed. Oh, it was so perfect. Oh, I can't even describe how awesome that is. And anybody who panicked there, now we're higher than before that drop happened. You see how they do that? Just trust the process. That means leverage traders were wiped. That's why I say it's very dangerous to trade leverage. Like, make no mistake about it, I fucking hate it. The only reason I have it on those two positions is because Theta, I didn't have $8,000 available in capital, or $7,000 to buy 10,000 tokens, but I had 1,300 that I felt comfortable where we were at on a 10x trade, that it wouldn't liquidate me, which it was a risk. But so far, it's panned off. And I got 18,000 tokens. And with XCN, it's the same situation. It's undervalued where it was at. It was having that consolidation this morning. And I said, you know what? Hit this point and hold it, and I'll ride you. And it did, and I bought it as it rounded. And that's just the way it goes. Whether it was a good decision or not, who the hell knows? But it's a capital positioning. I didn't expect to have all that money in the group trades. So, plus I'm not willing to take out of my commodities. And it's just the way that I have it positioned with a certain amount of capital on each side. So now the only way for me to make more capital is to make more money. You know, and when I started this week, my portfolio was at like 25,000. So being at 31 or 32 makes me happy. Or 31 or 30. I don't remember where it was at. But I don't think we're done yet. I don't think we're done. I think we need to just sit still and not do the micro trading like I said on Monday, and we'll do fine. Just play these inverse head and shoulders out. Everybody's panicked up the yin yang. And then on yesterday when they announced the tariff, the 50% tariff, I said, you know what? Who gives a fuck? That doesn't scare me. This is just a tactic now to get us to sell. It ain't selling shit. You know, and like I said, we took the stairs down. I don't know where the stairs were going to end, but I think they finally ended. Some people, I am afraid that it's going to take the stairs down, like you said. Well, what the fuck do you think we've been doing? Like, that's the only thing. If it doesn't hit the very bottom, who cares? So it didn't hit the micro bottom. Guys, this is what we got to understand here. It was down 79% in IOTA from the bottom. I didn't buy it when it was down 79. I bought it on this right shoulder like I always say I do when I feel the swing's going to start. It was down 75. So I didn't get at the bottom 4%. I don't honestly care. Am I going to care if I got it at 12 or 13 cents or 15 at the end of the day? No. So, like, all of this stuff ends up happening. So, like, when I change my tune, you need to know. Like, some of you know now, but some of the new ones just don't get it yet. And now you got to sit through the cycle painfully because you just don't get it yet. I've done this. How many cycles in a row have I hit the bottom and tops and then sold out and then rebought and then sold? I mean, this is getting pretty cool, isn't it? We did it in 21. We bought and then sold out in the bull market top. 47-cent average on XRP by the time I started on YouTube. And we sold out at $1.66 average. Then we bought back and I proclaimed that it would go down to 52 cents, but I wasn't buying until it went all the way down to sub 40 cents. It went to 52, bounced up. I wrote other things. Because I don't like to have the attachment until I have the attachment with XRP. Then it went down to 34. Have that. Went down to 38. Bought 5,000 more very publicly. And traded a lot through the XRP Bitcoin pairing. And then I sold a bunch of it over $3. Some at over $2. Some a little bit earlier. Because of the way the XRP Bitcoin pairing was going. But now again, it's always that same thing. When I'm sounding the alarm that it's bearish, it's bearish, it's bearish, it's bearish. Everybody was like, buying the dip, buying the dip, buying the dip, buying the dip. And I'm like, how the hell are you buying the dip? Because we're down 80%. Where the hell is the dip? What part of the dip? If you're buying the bottom 20% of a reversal, you're fine. I always say that, but you can't be buying it from 70% up from here and say you're buying the dip. And then when it gets to the actual bottom and the rounding of the dip, people are like, I'm not buying it. I'm waiting for the ultimate part of the dip. What do you think's going on here? You see that big inverse head and shoulders? Like, we can't make that up. It's there. It's there, folks. That is there, and it's rounding. Like, it is there. As sure as the seat I'm sitting on and the earth I live on, which we don't even, who the hell knows, that's what's going on. So then again, it's like, now we don't know. Now we're back in that area where it's like, okay, well, we don't know, but our education's telling us these golden crosses, they might have played through, but they haven't played out. And Bitcoin's played up, but has it played, I don't think it's done yet. Now that we've come up here, we might as well just finish off the technical target of at least 122 from when this bull market started. And now the one it created for Bitcoin from after the bull market started, it's still got a target up there around 143. And I mean, I don't see why it's not going to. They're pumping Bitcoin with so much top-heavy collateral that we might as well have some fun with it until it implodes. That was the message this week. Like, let's do it. Let's just do it. There's nothing to do but to do it. And when was the last time I held fucking ADA? So, that should have been a message once I bought it. For real. I haven't held ADA in years. But then I'm sitting there at 60 cents during the live. I think it was yesterday. And it's at 60 cents. Or maybe it was the day before. I think it was yesterday. The morning one, I think. And we're just looking at it. And it's like, it's either now or never. Because it's going to pull up. And we could tell. It was at the area. Remember we were talking about right here. Right before, just like XLM. Before it pulled up through the 4 hourly to create that golden cross. And there's a few that are still pending. Data might be getting finally broke out of that area. But that's XCN's one of them that was pending. And see, this is still behind. See where it's at in the move? The other ones have shot through the 200 day. That's what I mean. Like, if it plays out, and I think it should, you can never be 100%, but this is another one that's next in line. You know, and it's like you don't know, but you don't sit here and micromanage it. You just let it work. So I told the audience, don't trade. This is the buy and hold time now. You don't trade it. You don't need to be in and out. Unless you're in it, and then when you get out, you're out. Because otherwise, you're just buying in the same rally. Unless you have something specific where you're like, I've designated this my target, but I was in this before just because I thought it would run first. But that also can be a dangerous game. You know, because then you've got like the casino-like feel. But I'm going to stop talking about that because that'll throw people off. Nobody wants to hear about personal success because I found there's nothing worse for new viewers and sometimes older viewers. There's nothing worse than hearing somebody talk about their personal success, even if you're watching, because then you're going to feel like, you know, it's either I'm gloating or you're going to feel jealous or whatever. So you don't want to put somebody in that spot. So good evening. I don't know if I did the update in the intro, but I'm going to do it again. 3:27 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Thursday, July 10th, 2025. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. Yeah, I sold H-bar in the last up to as well. It was over 30 cents somewhere. It was way up. Not 30. I don't think it was 30. Maybe it was. It was way the hell up there. Oh, yeah, it was definitely. Because I didn't sell it over 40, but I sold it. I'll never forget it was over here on this area. When it lost the 200. So, yeah, I didn't buy it again until... I don't know what it was at. I don't remember exactly the price. 14, 15? I can't remember exactly. Maybe 15? It was when I thought that right. It was before it started to push through the 200 day. I don't remember the exact price. But that's what the whole market started showing me. So over the weekend, we started to test the philosophy. And we went into XDC and wrote it up by the 2 layers. And then we went into XLM and I said, well, I'm going to sit in this to fail. And what I ended up doing was selling the initial position when we did the group trade with that I had. And I bought it with the group. And I decided to do it when everything had retraced. And I'm like, this is the time. It's either now or then. Let's see. Flo says, I'm XRP Future Millionaire. We all are XRP Future Millionaire. Shouldn't the can be bigger since we are on a pump day? Shouldn't the can be bigger? I don't know what you mean. That's if you're talking about my camera, it's as big as my camera goes, friend. I can't do a square camera like some of the other people. I'm on a tablet. I'm not on a computer. How do you join the group? Here, I'll share a link on the bottom here. Oh, wait a minute. What am I doing? I mean, I'm going to have to open that after, but I'm going to have to go in the Telegram first. I think we're at 384 members. Just keep it chill. The only warning is there are no warnings if you're, you know, if you don't do it, you know, in a positivity over negativity. If you're not helpful and you're hurtful. If you're not, you know, if you're not a winner and you play the victim. If you're looking for somebody to just give you all the answers and you don't want to contribute. Because I don't give answers. I'm teaching life lessons. So, you know, you might be in a trade with me, but don't take it for granted. 90% of the people that are in my, well, maybe not 90. There's a large majority of people that watch what I do every single day, and they're not part of Tom's Army and things like that. You know, so, like, don't think I'm doing this for monetary gain. Because everything I do in front of you, I can do by myself. So, I'm trying to create abundance for everybody. And if somebody wants to support my work, I don't mind it. But that's how to get to the Telegram. Oh, mini Tom during bear market. Oh. Oh. Yeah. Oh, see, that's what I should do. Like, wouldn't that, you know, that's a good idea. Imagine if it was bearish and the only way you would know is I come on like this. Well, guys, well, I don't have to talk like that, but, you know, if I come on like this, you'd be like, oh, shit. We're bearish. Hey, guys, I know you can't see me, but I don't want to be seen today. It's not looking good, folks. You know, and then if it's looking good, it's like you come on and you're like, hey, there he is. This is a good day. Look how big the screen is. You know, that's how I would. But that's not a bad idea. That might be fun. No, then I might get lynched. People would leave right away. They're like, oh no, this is bearish time. I'm not staying for this. Now the question is, what do we do from here? Do we break out of this? Do we backtest somewhere? Since we hit that resistance, you could say 112,000 is a little bit of an area. I don't think we need to come back here. We already did a nice clearing there. Maybe 112 if we're meant to come back. But let's take a look at the daily. Ooh, that's a nice daily. I said it this morning too, like that is an engulfing daily, and that is beautiful. I told my Telegram too all day, I'm like, I think I have the message I could show you. Earlier, I'm like, listen guys, we have nothing to worry about. And I didn't know it was going to happen this quick. Unfortunately, it happened. I like when we're in the middle where there's literally nothing to worry about, and I can just... all I said was... Where was it at? I said, everyone, don't micromanage. Let the moves play out. Trading is going to cost you in so many ways right now. And then I said, where the hell's the Bitcoin? Oh, I just know Bitcoin until 113.6K. No reason to even blink. And the reason I said that is because I targeted 113,006 something. I had it on here, but now that we know where it's at 113.5. But I knew until it hit that area, we basically were coasting. But now it's hit that area, but now all of the other ones that are coasting, they haven't made the move. They haven't made the rest of their move. So the one good thing that could happen here is maybe the altcoins finally finish these big bursts through this golden cross. And Bitcoin maybe labors a little bit here. Not falling much because it's still got more to grow. But maybe it gives us a chance to catch up. But we've got a huge bull flag that broke out. I mean, when I say huge, and we back tested the move initially, that's a big bull flag. And that's how we can get up to these massive levels, like literally. And that was if we broke out right there. Well, we broke out right here, so... Oh, no, we don't know where we broke out yet, but it's farther in the pattern. So, I mean, I measured it 142, but right now... Oh, that's pretty damn close, actually. For when I did that, that is remarkably close. Because I was kind of just, like, guessing that this would play out like this when I first set this up. But look how big that is. And that's not even the biggest target, I don't think, necessarily. Yeah, 143 is pretty good. A big one would be 122. 122 too, ironically. Huh. Sounds about right. I like being here on bullish days too, believe it or not. But I always say it like, I love the people that are here when it's bullish, but I love the people even more when they're here when it's very bearish, because then we can buy stuff, you know, before these big moves happen, if you know what I mean. So, you know, we've got our perks either way, right? So, but I do appreciate everybody who's here. Bitcoin, news of note is we did hit an all-time high, hitting somewhere around 113,700 and some change. Ethereum had a nice move again, and the reason why it's nice is we're back over that golden cross, and in the daily, that's an engulfing candle. I suspect we're about to have an emergence in Ethereum. And what happens when Ethereum is flying? The alts do. Do the alts... No. And Bitcoin's not topped yet. But what'll end up happening is Bitcoin will take longer to get up to its top, while Ethereum starts to fly, and altcoins would go much, much faster. It's not that Bitcoin will stop. It's just altcoins will be going at a 2 to 3 to 1 pace of Bitcoin. You're going to see Ethereum here is, you know, it's technically, if you haven't bought Ethereum yet, it's technically a buy right now, unless it breaks back under. I mean, you could use this area as support, you know, 2,620. You could go all the way to 2,100, but technically, Bitcoin or Ethereum's a buy right now on this bull flag breakout, or this huge break, like of this inverse head and shoulder. I mean, you're talking about a move. And the golden pocket, we know, is at 3,157, the closest golden pocket to us, I believe it is. But this is reeking of a move up to like $3,800. So if Ethereum is doing what I suspect it's about to do, oh my God, have mercy on the rest. You think Ethereum's move is going to be big? Wait till you see some of these altcoins. They are set up for much bigger moves than Ethereum. They're just waiting on the gatekeeper. And guess what? The gatekeeper's back on the bullish side of town for the first time in several months. We're back in business, baby. We are legitimately back in business for altcoins. In the last, how long has it been? 6 months since I talked like this? What I have the last 4 days? Because we're in a consistent downtrend. Now I believe we're starting to reverse in a big way. But yeah, it's been a nice day. It's been a nice day. You're welcome, Mr. King. I can't wait to see how they fly when Bitcoin down eventually drops. Oh man. And you'll know if Ethereum breaks out here in a big way in these dailies, oh my God. You're gonna know. You're just gonna know. So, you know, it's gonna get interesting here. Very interesting. And I'm all for it. Tom Crosswhite, thank you so much for joining Tom's Army. Oh, I love seeing the first month members. That means we're growing. And I know it's your first month because that's the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. And that is my face superimposed on there. I kid you not. Thank you so very much for that. Hey, Tommy. I'll be done in a little bit, buddy. Yeah, I know. Daddy will be done in just a little bit. Oh, yeah. Some definitely do lag behind. Like, that's why I talked about a few at the start. Like, I believe XCN's behind right now. There's a few of them. I still don't think IOTA and Algo and some have made as big of a move. Especially IOTA now, because it only backtested the Golden Cross. So IOTA's probably got a little bit bigger move stored up here as well. Because it's still getting ready to bounce through. And now that the 4-hourly started playing out, because we're looking for that move now on IOTA up to almost 20 cents. And then further. You know, and it always happens like this. It's bearish, it's bearish, it's bearish until it's not. You just have to have the eye to be like, you know what? Something's different here. And I don't know how far it goes. That's the thing. Like, we don't know how far it goes. We just have to be comfortable that this pattern will play out. And then if something goes wrong, it goes wrong. But right now, I don't see anything that makes me afraid. And Bitcoin came up to that resistance. So now in my eyes, I'm like, oh, well, now it might need to come back to 112. And it could fill a micro gap that I deem is there. But it doesn't necessarily mean anything. XDC leading the charge. I mean, it's definitely in the 4-hourly. It's so the move now. See what XDC did? See how it back tested this? Right here on the 20, it rode up. Right here on the 20, it never came all the way down, technically, but it rode up out of the Golden Cross now. Look at XLM. Rode out of the Golden Cross and now it's looking to attain the next layer. XRP rode out. It's trying to get to the next layer. Then you come over here to IOTA, right? Back tested, hasn't come out of that layer yet, correct? So that's got a big move left. Algo's coming out of it right now. It's come up not quite as much, but it has come up a lot more than IOTA. Ethereum is bouncing out of it as well. It just hasn't pushed out of the latest bull flag. You know, and you can start looking at this across the board. And then once you get through that, then you go to the dailies. Like right now, DGB is just starting to push past. It's just starting to try to push the move right now. H-bar blowing out of the move right now in the 4-hourly. And then the next step would be going into the daily. So now we do that. Now in the daily, we bounce off to 200. We got an engulfing candle on the top side. Super bullish. Super bullish for XRP as well in the daily. It's just much higher up than XLM. XDC, very bullish in the daily. On top of the 200 as well. And now it's trying to make its next big move. But it's the foresight, and that's why we considered that a rounding bottom before it started moving. IOTA is still well behind, so it's going to be hard to see this. But look how far behind this it is right now. But look at that seriously engulfing candle. Broke through that top resistance right now in the micro like a champ. And now it looks like it's set to surge to that almost 20 cent area for the 200. But going back to the 4-hourly, and I'm trying to teach you along the way, ones that are behind in the move. If we think the market's making a similar move, right now this is still below the 4-hourly. We're nowhere even near the Golden Cross point here, but we are showing signs that We have a nice short-term inverse head and shoulders. That's very nice to see. Like, literally, it's a micro inverse head and shoulders. So I know Shane's a big fan. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder starting to round out. Little bull flag that's playing true. It should come up here. And then once we get past that, it should allow us to elevate. Even if it has to do a micro like this, it should elevate us up and have the surge and then create an eventual where the 20-day is going to come through this 200. We're just projecting it out into the future, and then maybe in the future it bounces here and then gives us that serious tug up, and then we can start talking about that area in the near future. So that's what I'm projecting in my own head. If it comes true, who the hell knows? Not everything comes true, but that's what I'm trying to see play out. And it's the whole market. If the whole market comes down, it comes down, but that's just what I'm seeing.
How?
Need dominance to drop first. We do need dominance to drop, but we can still micro move up as this dominance stays where it's at. The market dominance isn't going to kill us. It's just not going to allow us to go parabolic. We won't be able to go to $50 XRP with this kind of a cap, but we could go to 5. It's not going to kill us in that sense. I think that's the biggest underlining thing. We can still move up. We just can't go into these unbelievably parabolic states with where we're at, with Bitcoin dominance. But we can still go up. Every one of these can go up 500 to 1,000%. Maybe 300% on some, like XRP, a couple hundred. And they could still do it. Yeah, and thank you, Tom, my fellow Tom, joining Tom's army. I appreciate that. So yeah, we're sitting in a pretty nice spot here right now. And then another big thing that happened today, and this is huge. This is huge. Okay? So this is huge. The U.S. Treasury officially scraps crypto broker reporting rules after congressional vote. You know what that means, right? They're not going to come after through the U.S. Treasury as hardcore after crypto traders like in non-KYC exchanges, for instance. So what's happening right now is the U.S., because of what they're trying to push here, they're going to make it to where if the exchange isn't reporting, they're not coming after it. And they're going to make it to where, oh, we're going to put it on the individual person. So if you're on like Uphold or Crypto.com or a place that reports, well, you have it right there. You send in your taxes. But now if you're on another exchange that, even if it's like, and I said this before with the other ones, some of them it says that they report all as one. And then it's up to you to self-report. But the only reason it does that is because they want you to basically give information over that you don't really have to do, because technically it's not part of the tax code. So, but they eased off of this. So this is a very big, to me, this is a big deal. I don't know if it is to you guys as well. I'm not going to watch that one because they have all that advertising bullshit in the background. But this is a big deal. So, as per a July 10th report by Bloomberg, the Treasury Department cut a proposed set of crypto reporting rules after Congress voted to repeal them earlier in the year. So these are the regulation TD 10021 RIN 1545-BR39 outlined under section 6045, specified how decentralized crypto exchanges or DeFi exchanges report the customer transaction information to the US. So do you hear what I'm saying here? So it's more important than ever to use a non-KYC exchange if you're looking to have a private footstep. But for withdrawal purposes and for if you want to have some tax purposes, you're going to have one that reports. So all that stuff they tried to scare us with last year, it's not coming to fruition. Because they don't know how to do it anyhow. They've got so much stuff they're doing under the books, they can't pass all this shit. It would single-handedly hurt them, so they are heading in the right direction here to not tax crypto at some point. So hopefully they go even deeper. 7AIX, who the fuck knows? And for that, I mean, I don't know what the, honestly, no offense, but I gotta hide you, my friend, because that sounds like a scam and a half to me. So If it's not, apologize, Jonas, but the only reason you would share something like that is if you're trying to scam people. Or if it's just some bullshit thing that gets shared by spammers. It had been approved last December. The rule would have treated both centralized and decentralized crypto platforms as brokers who must report customer trades to help fight tax evasion. It had been created by the enforcement provisions of 2021 Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act. DeFi proponents countered the DeFi platforms have no way to capture or verify user information, so compliance is not practical and is an unreasonable burden. Industry groups lobbied against the expansion, arguing it would snuff out innovation and send projects overseas. The repeal was passed by both Senate 70 to 28 in the House, an indication of strong bipartisan opposition. On April 11th, President Donald Trump signed a bill reversing the expanded IRS crypto brokers, which otherwise would have been a burden on developers and front-end teams. The official withdrawal of the rule by way of the Department of Treasury draws a line in the sand, finally recognizing that Congress intended for broker reporting to apply specifically to custodial intermediary exchanges. So, you hear what they're saying right here. You hear what they're saying. It does not preclude future rulemaking that might be specifically adapted to non-custodial and decentralized entities. For now, the crypto industry sees this as a win. IRS to back down on controversial broker rule first appeared on the street on July 10th. So this is great news for a further pump. Like, think about it. We're looking for catalysts. This is a huge catalyst. Is it any surprise that comes out today when they could use extra capital? How many people do you know if they know they can trade off of a non-KYC and not have any kind of reporting duties? I'm just saying. That's a reason why I like BITUNIX. No KYC, no VPN. And if you're anal about it, you could always delete your BITUNIX account and open up a new one. Just remember to reattach with me so that you can copy trade and stuff. You know, I have it set up to where you have to click my link to copy trade because I don't want spammers. So if you're trying to copy trade, there's people who follow, but they can't actually copy trade because they're not copied off of me. My son is using got his talking advice. So that's big news. Oh no, I know that they're not telling anybody. The fact we have 174 people here is a friggin' miracle. But it happens. We get a lot more. Well, although the last few, I'm going to be honest, we never went below 100 any of the days when we had bearishness. So people were still watching, which I commend. Remember, voluntary reporting taxes. Exactly. And listen, they never report our losses for us, but they always want to report our gains. Well, how about you report the losses so that I can have my $3,500 tax write-off if I'm a bad trader, huh? And they don't tell you your losses compound every year. So you can, if you've lost $10,000 the last 4 years, and then you make $3,500 next year, $10,000, you can write off $3,500. Then you got $6,500 rolled over. So the first $3,500 every year, if you're a lousy trader, when you start making profit, is tax deferred or tax deductible or not. You know what I mean? And just remember, if you report all your losses, you better report all your gains. The more losses you report, if you're trying to be slick, remember to report your gains too. But most people just have losses, so definitely report the losses. But if you're on a non-KYC exchange, don't report anything. You're technically not a person there. That's the whole point. You know, don't go over, out, and above. That's what the tax attorney should say to everybody. If they're not self-reporting, there's the tax advisors will tell you not to. They ask you if you have a 10 or the form from the exchange, and if you say no, they say, and you're like, well, I want to report it. They're like, why would you? They're not giving you anything to report. It's not on you. If they're reporting as an exchange, they're reporting it all as one gain. So, you know, and at first I'm like, what are people talking about? But once I realized deeper in what they were talking about with the code, then I'm like, oh, that's what they were talking about. It makes perfect sense. But yeah, so right now, I like where we're at. I like what we're doing. I like how we're set up. Bitcoin could technically retest around 112,000 because that's the back test. Oh yeah, crypto.com, I have my tax info on there. So everything that I do there. But, you know, you can be strategic traders and make it show up as a loss too on those kind of things. Just send your asset over there when it's high and then send it back off the exchange after it's lost like 10, 15%. Oh, I do it all the time. Have my losses show up and gains. You know, sometimes it compounds so you have tax, you know, in both ways. But, you know, I've said too much. So, for XRP at $2.49, because I'm going to go soon, because my son's, you know, he's doing his thing. He wants dad. But we have this engulfing candle on XRP. This doesn't look bad at all. It looks like we're just getting ready for the next layer. Be patient. I mean, I don't really see much that's wrong here. I'm just saying, I don't see much that's wrong here. Well, James, I don't know who told you to sell magic short, but don't listen to people when you're trading. You know? You gotta follow through with what your gut says. ICP, I know somebody was asking me about that. Just like we seen on IOTA, I could see a similar thing playing out here. We'll see if it just pops out, because it could. Some of them have just broke out. So as long as ICP holds $5.14, you don't have to come down to $4.99. That's the beauty of this. If it loses $5.14 and gets rejected, you know it's coming down here. But we're about to have a big move up here too. So I don't believe this is done. Even if it gets rejected at the top, it's still got to come to 580. So, you know, it's either going to hold 514 like it has and go to 580, or it's going to come to 499 first. Either way, it's looking super bullish. Super, super bullish. I got to imagine AMP as well. I have to imagine AMP is getting close. 4 hourly, it's looking to push out. And once it finally does, you're going to push back up here to 4.2. So what is that, like? How far is this? 17% initial push. So I think that's setting up as well. I mean, that is so overdue. It's sickening and disgusting. And if I didn't have all my, you know, that money that I wanted allocated for crypto right now allocated, that would definitely be one I'd be looking at. No doubt about it. But still waiting on XCN. Still waiting on the inevitable boost out of here for Theta. It's starting, but it hasn't made this. I'm waiting for this bull flag to play out, and this should bring us somewhere around 82 cents. If I'm not mistaken. Hold on. But now it could come down here too, but let's just assume it breaks out right here. Looking about 80 cents. So we'll see what happens. It's Thursday, tomorrow's Friday, and then we go into the weekend. But this seems to be a non-eventful and unharmful kind of weekend. This seems like a weekend that could be buried with good news. I know it sounds stupid. How do I copy your BITUNIX account for trading? You have to go into the Telegram. I mean, to be honest, there's nothing you can follow right now because I don't just buy things and trade and do that. I'm sitting in these for a reason. But for future reference, you can come into my Telegram and go to and there's a link in this very live. And then, or you can join through my BITUNIX link, and then after you sign up to your account, just search for me in copy trading. I believe you just go to XRP Future Millionaire. Let me just see real quick. Copy trading, search, XRP, right there. XRP Future Millionaire. But you're going to have to click through my link because I have it to where you can only follow me. And there's like $50,000 of the audience's money in here. And at least fortunately, we're up. My 7-day PNL is $1,200. But, you know, the group's, I don't know what theirs is. But I know it said the group was up over $4,000 something collectively. Oh, you can't be a complete ghost. Don't you know? That's why I say I use crypto.com for all of that stuff. That's my footprint. That's my footprint, friend. If I got to send money from my bank account, I'll send it to crypto.com, or if I send it to my bank account. Now I've gotten wise. I'll send money off and on now just to keep it going. I hadn't sent money on the exchange in years. But now I do it a couple $1,000s a month every month. Because on crypto.com you can do $2,000 a month through a debit card instantly. So every single month, $24,000 a year now I send on to the exchange, and if I want to send it off, I'll resend it back off. But yeah, that's how you got to do. I'll see if I'm in a live. If I'm in a live tonight, it's going to be much later than 6. It might be one of those 10, 11 o'clock lives, which is what I'm aiming for. Because my son, he's had a weird schedule lately. So I'm trying to aim this now and angle my lives. If I could somehow do them around 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and it worked out before my son goes back to school, at least for the summer, there might be a chance that I can do more later ones too. But I know I've done 3 shorts today. I've done an update. I've done the live. So this is my 5th piece of content. Hopefully it helped by doing the short before I started the live. I don't know how many people watched that video. 240 people watched that short. So that's good. So hopefully you'd be able to find my live based on the short too, you know. Hey, I listened to the short. It talks about the live and things like that. On Seals Q, yes, I do actually. I had to take it off the front page because I had so much stuff on here. Let me go to the... I don't even need to add it. Let me just see where it's at right now. It's LAES. Well, my understanding was that I was going to buy it at $2.57. And I don't know if it's going to come down there because it broke that little uptrend. I was targeting $2.57. And I said that I would throw at least $2,500 towards it. And I'm still in that same spot. So if I can get 1,000 shares there at $2.57, I would put it in with my commodities. I would for sure. I'd buy $2,500 worth. Or $2,600, whatever it'd be down there. But that's my understanding of where I think it was going to come. Now, I don't know though, because it is rounding a little bit. So I don't know if it's actually going to make it. But that's where this uptrend is technically trying to... Well, maybe it's not even quite there. I remember we did this before, and when we did it like this. You know, we might want to do that. Honestly. That's why we split that difference. So $3, I could see that. I think $3. 309 will reevaluate this. Yeah, 309 will reevaluate this. So if we're doing the lives, if you see this come down there and I'm not paying attention to it during a live, please ring my bell. Because this is going to be a big one. This is the quantum computing and things like that. So I have like emerging markets plays. So if you ever want to know my plays outside of crypto, and this is for anybody new, on the red tab, it's my emerging markets. I started it in 2024. I do $7,000 a year because you get to do the tax write-off because it's deferred until you pull it out. So I do $7,000 a year. So off the bottom line of your taxes, you can write $7,000. So if you make $50,000, it'll be like you made $43,000. So I do $7,000 a year. I've already done my contribution for this year. The $14,000 so far is up to like $15,000 something. It's up close to the, I don't know, it's $1,400 or something. But I buy emerging markets, and the bottom 2 are Fidelity, the top 2 are Vanguard. And you know, it's monthly. You get monthly dividends on these as well. They're delayed, so you won't, if you buy it, you have to wait. And there's, I think, $3,500 you have to minimum on most of them. But they're the emerging markets. So if you think the U.S. is going to in time go down, I think the emerging markets are a good play. And then Vanguard's obviously one of the biggest portfolio managers and things like that. And then Fidelity's also, I just like the way it's done. And then when it comes to commodities, you know, obviously we have our precious metals with gold and silver. The gold-silver ratio is down to 89.5. So that's a big come down. It's starting to invert big time. Silver's over 37, believe it or not. It's unbelievable. We're about to give a big surge here in some of these commodities again. I'm telling you right now. But we own Barrick Gold. I made a $3,500 longer investment when it dropped below. I was almost at 20. But I had already bought some at 15 and 16, most of it. But also have B2 Gold, which was down 2.66%, which was actually good. It back tested the move. Pan America Silver is up 1.77% on the day. It's at a 52-week high roughly right now. First Majestic up 2.55% to $8.65. Quite the separation of about $2 now from Fortuna. They were neck and neck just a few short weeks ago at $5.17 area. Fortuna, though, had a good day, up 12 cents to 667, almost 2%. Hecla was up 2.25%. That's the single largest silver producer in the USA. And they're back up to $5.90. And Dolly Varden had a good reversal back up today, up 2.05% to $3.48. So those are my commodity plays. And then you've seen my emerging markets. The only thing you don't see is Murphy's Oil on here. But there's no room for that. And that's still consolidating. So, still time. So with that being said, have a blessed evening, everybody. I got to go with my son. I want to go do what I got to do. XRP, though, over $2.50. Let's go. It's $2,500 now on 10,000 tokens. Oh, it makes me so excited. Makes me so gosh darn excited. I used to have, for transparency, my XRP in the Zaman wallet. But I had my XRP Healthcare, which was 63,000 tokens, which I upped to 102,200 on the dip below 5 cents that I could buy. And it was painful because on L-Bank, you've got to buy like 100 to 500 at a time and then wait for it to reshuffle and do it again. So it took me like 6 hours to do it on limit orders. I'm not even kidding. It was a pain in the ass. But I did what I had to do. And I have it over 100,000 tokens there, so I'm happy. And then my XRP, I ended up moving over some time ago over to the XRP Healthcare wallet because I felt like XRP Healthcare was lonely. So, you know, that's up to about 31,000 now between those two. Especially with XRP up to 25,000 now. Well, I base it on 10,000 tokens. But this is how I do things. BITUNIX, I have things on there that I had elsewhere as well. But I don't trust other wallets either. Like, I trust the XP Healthcare wallet because everything's been very, very transparent. Every time you'd have an issue, which was very rare, they would respond to you right away. So it was one of those things. On website, do you have to... No. Listen, if you go to my website, go to xrpfuturemillionaire.com. I did this for everybody, especially if you're not technological savvy. Go to it. Scroll down to the chart. It starts with the XRP market cap. You can go to any chart you want in any market you want. So let's just say you're on here and you want to see just the XRP price. You can go to the crypto, notice all the different ways, all the pairings. It's not just, you can go to anything, not just in US. Whatever pairings there are, you can go to. I made a dedicated live API. And my server's dedicated. So whether there's 1 or 1 billion people on, it's going to be as fast as lightning speed. So let's just say we want to look at IOTA for this instance. You go to, fuck that, IOTA's more known. How about data where it's not as well known? So data, which is streamer. Let's come down here to data. We'll go to, you can go to USDT. I'm going to go to USD. And here's the chart. What I advise you, if you're new, and you don't have to, and yes, you can put the EMA lines on, so you can do the EMA 20, 50, 100, 200, but they've changed a lot of that. So on TradingView. So the easiest thing I can tell you is put the MACD, which is the moving average convergence divergence. And that's the flow. See how it's got red and green? See how the red's gone back into light red for data? That's exactly what you want to see happen before you start flipping from that money sell out to the money starting to flow back in. And when it does this time, I believe everybody who talks about MXC and ZBEC, how we had those massive runs, I think we're getting ready for one of those in data. That's why I have over $4,000 in data, or over 250,000 tokens. I think something big's coming. Remember, I did this before on MXC and ZBEC and made 4 to 6x on both. So I'm expecting a similar outcome here by the time this is all said and done. And I mean a micro move. I'm not talking about something that's going to take 10 years. So, and yeah, I've been calling for 265, well, 261 technical target, but 265 pivot layer for XRP to just come up to. I have no fear. I think that's exactly where it's going to go. I really do. So, you know, I think we're making big movement here. And I do thank everybody who's here. So take advantage of the website. Take advantage of the website. Please. That's something I built for all of you. And I think it can really, really, really benefit you. And thank you. I see we're over 45,000 subscribers as well. So thank you to the over 45,000 subscribers. It means a heck of a lot to me.